This is your election headquarters. Hello there, good morning. Just about 40 minutes over 6. This, again, is your election headquarters. My name is Gifty Ando Pia, and Evans, Mensah, and Winston Amwa have stayed up throughout. We're continuing from here. We also cross over to the 997 studios where Mamavia Uswabwaje and my other colleagues are standing by. I want to take you right now to Ejisu, but in the meantime, you see how our map here is shaping up beautifully. We are populating the map with the figures that we're receiving from across the region. Now you see where what it's looking like in the Ashanti region right there. Ahafo North seems to have something going on there. That's Ahafo North Southwest. We're also seeing something happening around this side. But this place is where I'm taking you to right now. We don't have any figures to populate that part right now. But Ohime Teria is standing by to give us some results that are coming in. Hello there, Ohime.
Hello, Gifty.
Great. Ohime, as I said, on our map here, we're waiting for the figures to populate right this part of our map, the Ejisu part of our map. You have some figures. Take us through them.
Thank you, Gifty. This is the Ejisu Constituency Collation Center at the Ejisu Municipal Assembly. It's been hours of waiting for the polling station results to be collected in the constituency. But unfortunately, the EC officials are yet to finish this particular process. In the Ejisu constituency, we are expecting 205 polling station results with 102,000 voters here. But the unfortunate thing is that between last night and this morning, the information we have picked from the EC officials is that less than 60 of results from the polling stations have been collected, meaning that there are several of the polling station results yet to be collected. This place last night used to be a bit organized, but this morning the situation is quite different. You can see a lot of people in here. Many of them are tired, so they have probably, flouted the COVID-19 safety protocols. Majority of presiding officers who are waiting for their things to be served by the Electoral Commission officials have no face mask, and many of them have also disregarded a social distancing protocol. So I must say it's been hours of waiting, but beyond the wait, people are also not paying to COVID-19 safety protocols. Gifting.
Putting the figures together for us, are we expectant to hear from them any moment soon? Ohime, I'm asking, how soon should we expect to get...
The information I picked from the district EC director. Yes, for now it will be difficult to say when the will be released because we are talking about 205 polling station results, and as we speak now, we have done less than 70. So we have a long way to go as we wait for the EC officials to collect the results here, Gifty.
Okay, hang on for me a little as I show our viewers, and of course we try and describe it for our listeners as well, how Ejisu did in the last election. I'm talking about 2016 election. Now, this is the constituency Ohime is speaking from right now. There it is. This is the Ejisu constituency. Now, in 2016, this was the performance of the parties there. The MPP's Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo came up with some very strong 84.9%, gaining 55,312 of the votes cast. John Mahama had 14.5%, gaining 9,449. So let me just grab for you, let me just bring up the trend over the years. Now, Ejisu is one of the constituencies that came up only in 2012, and so the database, the figure that you have in the database is from 2012 up until 2016. And if you look at how it compares, it looks like an obvious win for the NPP. Now, the NPP has held on to it. In 2012, it had 79.8%. But you see a great change because in 2016, it moved, a little about 5 points up, with 84.9% in terms of the presidential result. If you look at the parliamentary performance, it looks as if the parliamentary candidate at the time and the presidential candidate in 2016, which is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, were pretty popular at the same level, because the parliamentary candidate had 83.8%, whereas the presidential candidate came up with 84.9%. You see a bit of similarities there. In 2012, however, it looked as if the parliamentary candidate was much more popular. Well, not too much. 80% for the parliamentary candidate, 79.8% for the presidential candidate. So that's how it compares. Ohime, I want to find out, what people are saying. What kind of conversation goes on there? This looks like an obvious win for the NPP. They've held on to it at least for 2 elections. The news will be that the NDC managed to take over. How is it looking there in terms of the conversations that people have and what it directs us towards?
Yes, Gifty, I can hardly hear you, but what I think you're asking me about the parliamentary candidates who are vying for the slot here in the Ejisu constituency. The MPP is being represented by John Ampontua Ekuma, and the NDC also by George Kwame Huzi. From some of the results that we have picked from the polling stations, these are not certified EC results. Between last night and this morning, I have picked not less than 48 parliamentary results. This indicates that John Ampontua Ekuma is already in the lead. He has taken the lead, recording majority of the votes here, many cases above 60%. George Kwame Huzi, who I'm told until yesterday's elections was the NDC's constituency secretary, managed to garner around 30% of the votes cast. But these are not certified EC results. We are still waiting for the Electoral Commission to certify results from 205 polling stations. Okay. So I must say this is perhaps a safe seat for the New Patriotic Party, because over the years, MPP have won the seat here and continue, as people, many have projected, will win 2020 parliamentary elections as well in the Ejisu constituency.
Okay, well, I guess that we'll hold on to it for now whilst we wait for them to put it together. But the Ashanti region alone has 47 constituencies, right? 47 seats up for grabs. But if you look at what we have here right now, you do know that this area right here is heavily populated for the NPP. Obviously, we're waiting to populate our new map, or our 2020 map, with the figures that Ohime will bring for us right here. But here are the names that Ohime referred to. Kwabena Owusu Aduomi in 2016 garnered 83.8% of the votes, which is 54,508. That was in 2016. And the NDC's Gloria K. Huze came up with 14. As a rather paltry 14.6% there in terms of how it compares with what Kwabena Owusu Aduomi got there in the Ejisu constituency. We're waiting right now, like I said, to bring you the figures, the new figures, and how it is they're going to, fit in this part of our map. But as you can see so far, Ahafuano Southwest is going blue, certainly going for the NPP. Efija Setre East has gone blue. Asante Akim North has gone blue. Maybe if I open this up a little bit, we'll be able to find out Which one is this one? That's Ejisu Asokori, has gone blue as well. So we're waiting to populate this side of this part of it. That is Ohim Interior there on the ground for us. We'll be crossing over to him at the moment those figures are ready for us to be able to populate the Ejisu part of our map.